Yo, what's up everybody? It's me, Robert Muraine, and welcome back to Reactions and Critiques, the show where you submit your dance videos and I react and critique them. Let's do this. So welcome back to the show. I'm not gonna waste any time talking to you guys. Let's spend that time critiquing and reacting to your videos. First video is coming from Jointed Savage. Let's get into it. Good choice of music. I love Edit. If you guys don't know, he's the head guy of the Glitch Mob. So if you like Edit's music, you'll probably like Glitch Mob music. Cool, you're definitely glitching out. Oh man, you are flexible. The vibrating. Digging the bone breaks, man. You were really flexible. That was cool, the little wave. You really make the bone breaks look effortless, which I like because it is not easy for me. Nice. That was a clean transition from trick to trick. Alright bro, I'm gonna stop it right here. Dope video, really good bone breaks. You're on an advanced level. I really like that. Respect. So, Jointed Savage, the first critique I'm gonna give you is sometimes it's not better to memorize a song because you almost lose the feel of the groove of the song and you start to wait for certain moments to hit. And I can see that you're anticipating moments that are not really groovy or structurally musical parts of the song. They're kind of random, which is cool if you hit, but if you're hitting only these little glitch moments all the time, you're not grooving, and so it's kind of distracting for your audience to always never know what you're about to do. You want the audience to kind of groove with you. And if you remember in the last reactions and critiques, the first video I reviewed, Aris Poppin', he was always hitting the beat, and even though he's not doing a bunch of bone break tricks like you are and a bunch of kind of flashy moves, he keeps the audience with him because of his musicality, because he's keeping a groove. And every time he does something, he is keeping a groove that the audience can feel too. And if you're only hitting weird parts and the audience never knows what you're gonna do, you kind of lose the focus of the audience if that is the only thing you're doing. Now, if you mix it up, of course, if you do the best of both worlds and you use some elements of surprise in your dancing and in the moment, in the pocket, while you're grooving, then the surprise is more of a surprise. It's like people that do all of their tricks all in one set. I see this a lot with bone breakers, and yourself, you did about 4 or 5 different bone breaks or combos from bone break to bone break. And you could take your time with these things. And if you grooved with a bone break and you danced with it and played with it and did something with these tricks that was dancey and groovy, then you might keep the focus of the audience a lot longer. That's all I'm gonna say about this video. Thank you, Jointed Savage, for submitting. Like I said, your bone breaks are sick. Just work on dancing, work on grooving. That's basically it. Thanks for submitting. Feel free to submit in the future. Let's get into the next video. Next video is coming from sytycd Mishra on Instagram. Let's get into this. Smooth waves. I like when I like camera follow editing. That's always cool. Panning. Definitely have a nice camera. It's obvious, which is always a plus. You can see detail in the dancing. That was a nice tutting combo. I wish you continued. Yeah, man, I like your tuts a lot. Actually, they're really smooth and clean. I like the feel of your tuts. That's the problem with Instagram, is you only get a minute, right? Cool video, bro. I like it. It's well done. The music is clear and crisp. The picture is clear and crisp. You have some nice editing and some nice panning going on. Little zooms that accentuate the accents on the music. I like it. Good stuff, brother. Now, critiques. First thing, it stands out like a sore thumb. It's the first thing I noticed, is that you look at the floor. You need to not look at the floor. It just shows that you're not confident in your movement. And that's all across the board, all dance styles. Don't look at the floor. Focus on something. Focus on the camera. The camera's there. Acknowledge the camera. There is stuff around. There's this big landscape. You're on top of a roof. Like, look at something. Even just focus on something and it helps with isolation if you focus on something. This is what it's called spotting. It's what people do when they do pirouettes, what ballerinas do when they do pirouettes. They spot. They look at a point, and when they turn, they try and find that point, and it keeps them on axis and it keeps them balanced. And it does the same for all styles of dance, whether you're doing something spinning or not. Okay, so another critique that I would give you is intensity. And I've given this critique before in the past, and I know that you started double timing when the song dropped. And in electronic music, I explained this before, that it's super important to follow the way the music feels. You know, if the music drops, like, you need to double your energy output. And I felt like the double timing was cool, but it wasn't quite as clean as the rest of your dancing was in the beginning. Because when you're waving and you're doing all your tuts, it's really smooth. It's really clean and precise and crisp. But as soon as you started double timing on that drop and doing your footwork, maybe it's a footwork problem. Maybe you need to work on your footwork. But you started losing the beat, and you lost the cleanly edge of your dancing. So I would work on maybe double timing a little bit more, and instead of just hitting the 2 and the 4, you can work on your shapes and arm positions, and get those clean to where you can double time easier on the beat. That's the only 2 critiques I would give you for now. I think those are some good things to work on, and might occupy your mind, because it is kind of hard to stop looking at the floor. And it is really hard to get your body coordinated enough to hit the beat double time on an electronic music song at like 130 BPM. That's fast. So yeah, work on that. Let's get into the next video. Thank you for submitting, K-Shitix. You can check his link out down below, just like all of the other dancers, if you want to give them a follow on their Instagram or YouTube, whatever it may be. So next video is coming from Roberto Lazcano. Thanks for submitting, Roberto. You're cool already just because of your name. We are like brothers from other mothers. All right, here we go. All right, we got an intro here. I always like intros in videos, especially these days. It's a good thing to have. Oh, it's well done too. Cool transition. See, production quality goes a long way. I didn't even see any dancing yet, and I already like it just because they put the time in. This is a long intro though, bro. But it's hard when the music is, okay, just cut the music. Yeah, that intro could have been a lot shorter, I think, in my opinion. Doesn't need to be, but my opinion. All right, got some voguing, electro, tutting, lots of different forms of inspiration, bone breaking. Bro, you got lines and shapes, that's for sure. And I like your pacing, your timing is cool. The editing of your video is great, you're in a bunch of locations, but it doesn't bother me that you're switching locations. They're good cuts, good edits. Creative, clean shapes. All right, legs. Damn, bro, you're flexible. That was a cool move. Hell yeah. All right. Good job, Roberto. Man, I don't even know what to say with that video. All right, first thing, good shapes, good tutting, good voguing. Yeah, I liked your shapes and your lines. You were clean. So first critique, cut your intro. It's too long. That last clip where you're like following the ceiling, I know you're trying to hit, I know it's a musical thing. You're waiting for that song to drop. But at the end of the day, the song didn't drop. You cut it and put a new song. In that case, you can cut the intro like way shorter. Just fade in the music a little bit later in the song to where the drop happens earlier. That's what I would do. Otherwise, the video is cool. I like intros in the videos, as I said, and you had an outro, you had a little tag at the end. All of these little details give production value to your video, and it keeps people interested and gives tension, like what's gonna happen. Oh, cool, it's gonna be a dance video. That's something you also could have added to the beginning, is I didn't know if it was gonna be a dance video. The only reason I knew is because you submitted it here. But if it was just an audience member, we wouldn't know of what was coming, which could be good, but at the same time, it's cool to kind of, I don't know, put some kind of subtext into where you know it's gonna be a dancing video, even if it's just a little short clip of something. Maybe you tying your shoes, like, okay, it's gonna be something where he needs his shoes. Just so that you kind of tell a story leading up to that, to where that you're gonna dance. You don't need to listen to this. This is just my artistic view on your video shooting. Let's get into your dancing. Critiquing your dancing. This is gonna be hard because I'm not a voguer and I don't really know electro. I've only just seen people do it. From what I can tell is you lack intensity. You need to be more intense with your movements. You can be sharper, I guess. I don't know what I'm doing with my arms, but when you do it, you can dime stop and be sharp. Keep your muscles tense is what I would say. That's like a popping thing that we do. When a lot of people animate, we're not completely like loose when we animate. When I animate and when I do robot and stuff, my whole entire body is tense. Now, I'm not saying that's what you need to have the whole time you're doing this, but when I want to dime stop, like my whole body tenses up. And so when you do these moves that are big, they have meat to them. They have impact. When they hit the beat, you can see it hit the beat because you tense your muscles up. You might be tense already, but you can add a little extra force, a little extra flexing of the muscles. And it takes time. It's basically what I'm telling you to do is hit. But you don't have to actually hit, but you can just add a little bit of tension at the end of your move every time you stop. Kind of gives it impact. That's the word I'm looking for. Work on your impact. Put punctuation marks at the end of your moves. And I think that'll really strengthen the nice lines you already have going on. That's all I'm gonna really tell you right now. I really liked all your movements and your flexibility, and you're pretty creative. I like the floor moves you did. Really cool. The video overall, the song choice, everything was pretty good. Keep it up, Roberto. That was the last video I'm gonna be reacting and critiquing today. Thank you guys all for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Hit the bell next to the subscribe button. That'll notify you whenever I release a new video. And until next time, peace out.